What's going on, guys? Mecha Ish here. Now, we've taken a look at all 6 of these figures. So this time around, we're taking all 6 of those Build-A-Figure pieces and building the Space Knight Venom. Let's do it.
Level 138 in progress. Prepare for launch in 3, 2.
Step out of your world and step into
Welcome back, guys, to another Marvel Legends action figure review. And of course, I have this Space Venom Build-A-Figure ready to be completed. I have all 6 pieces here necessary. And go ahead and check out my review on all of the figures that came along with these parts. But without further ado, let's put this Build-A-Figure together. Now, while putting this figure together, I'm also going to be talking about articulation. So you have this nice ball hinge joint, and I'm going to pop the head right onto this big torso. Make sure it snaps right in there, and then we have a nice hinge so he can look downward and he can extend his head upward. Plus, we have that nice rotation, and that big chin is not getting in the way. Next up is the left arm, and I'm going to slide that right into the socket, and you can see there's a big hinge right there at the shoulder. Pop that in place. Now, once this arm is in place, you cannot remove it, but as you can see, there is limited extension going upward because of the big shoulder ramming right into the torso piece, but we can go down to the side a bunch, and of course you have the rotation all the way around. Of course, we have a bicep swivel, and we also have a single jointed elbow that has decent enough flexion to make 90 degrees. Plus, we have rotation at the wrist, but you see all of this plastic being used. He has limited range of motion with the hinge going downward and upward. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop on his right arm, and again, once it's plugged in place, that sucker is locked in. Now, before I get to the legs, I wanted to show you the great range of motion of his ab crunch. Take a look at how much he can go forward all the way down like that, and he can arch his back a lot as well, so we should be able to get him in a lot of dynamic poses. Plus, we have a waist swivel. Now I'm going to pop his left leg in place, and we're going to twist that right in there, and as you can see, we have a thigh cut rotation. So of course we have a double jointed knee right there, and we also have a nice hinge at the ankle that can go all the way down like that. It can also go up. Now this is a very tight joint, just be careful when maneuvering it. And of course we have a nice ankle rocker. Now finally, I'm going to pop on the right leg, make sure that snaps in place, and you have the same type of articulation. Now with the hip joint, it does have limited movement to the side. He can kick up a great amount, and to the back he has limited range of motion because of the sculpt of his bottom, but still a very awesome and impressive looking Venom. So here we have another Flash Thompson Venom for our Marvel Legends collection, this time a lot bigger and bulkier. Now this look right here is representative of his space adventures as Space Knight Venom, and he's been rolling with the Guardians of the Galaxy. As you can see, his logo on his shoulder. Now he is a big chunk of plastic at 7.5 inches in height, and from shoulder to shoulder he's about 3.5 inches wide. Now unfortunately, this figure does not come with any accessories, and we all know Venom and the powers of the symbiote suit, where it can form blades, it can form tendrils, you name it. Here we're just gonna have this, which is kind of a letdown because even though this looks very cool, I would have loved to see at least one interchangeable blade that we can switch in and out with his hand. Now I already showed you guys the articulation of this figure, but let's take a closer look at Venom and see what else he's all about. Now I think this Venom has a very cool design. I mean, and what Venom can we not say that about? I mean, the black and the white always looks cool, and there's always some kind of unique style to Venom. You can see all of the white painted pretty clean for white on black, and I love how they have the white added to the back of his boots. But let's take a look at his helmet. Again, this is Space Knight Venom, and you can see his helmet is representative of a knight's helmet. Nice sculpted detail with the armor plating here by the side of the head. I love the separation of the white and the black. And you got more notches and lines sculpted in right down the middle, and you see that kind of concave shape right there going out to that big chin of his, also armor plated. This looks very cool, very smooth with the black all around. Now he does have these tiny yellow eyes that are so high up underneath the helmet it is easy to miss. It almost looks like he doesn't have any eyes besides the nice white paint job there representing the symbiote suit. It is a very unique look for Venom, but the paint applications and the sculpt are top notch here. Now going down his big bulky frame, he does have these straps sculpted in here, and you can see the white painted over it, so it's very clean again for white on black, which is not the easiest, and this is probably some of the cleanest parts of this figure. I love that big spider symbol on his back and the legs creeping out around his back and going up towards the front where it connects to the other spider symbol. And take a look at this, the articulation with the ab crunch. I love how they continue the paint going on through, so you can arch him all the way back and there's no break in the paint. Now I just noticed I can feel the elevation here, so they also sculpted in all of the legs and the spider symbols on the front and the back of the figure, so that is pretty cool. Now you can see some line work going down his neck here, and also some sculpted detail by the upper portions of his chest before it gets to the break of that spider symbol. I am loving the musculature sculpted in by his chest. Take a look at the ribs right there on the sides, and then you got more by the ribs, and of course his abs are also nicely sculpted. This is very minute, but nice attention to detail with the armored pieces sculpted in by his waist. Now going up to these big arms of his, I love the sculpt of his big round shoulders. You you have the details of his biceps and his triceps, and then you have this big forearm. You can see he is armor plated at the shoulders. He is rocking the Guardians of the Galaxy logo. It also looks like a Nova symbol there. So I haven't been following comics in the past few years, guys, so you have to let me know, but I definitely recognize the Nova symbol and the Guardians of the Galaxy. So it looks pretty awesome. Nice armor plated detail all the way around, and then of course you have nice clean paint application of the white on the outline. We have more armor sculpted on his forearms, and you can see the lines arching upwards here, and on the inside you have decent paint application of the white design on the inside of his forearm. You can see the white is kind of thicker on this side and then kind of fades, so that's where it's kind of troublesome with the white over the black. But then you see a big blotch of white on the palm of his hands, and take a look at that sculpted hand of his. I love the claw feature. Again, also sculpted at the top of his hand, it is kind of diamond piece that's painted all in white. Looks very cool. Now we're looking at the figure from afar. Besides the awesomely sculpted legs here and all that musculature, it seems pretty bland because it's all in black. But as you get up close, you can appreciate the little details that Hasbro added in, like the seam line sculpted in by his thighs, and then you have some more line work sculpted at the bottom of his thighs. Of course, you have those awesome looking armored knees. You can see some more sculpted detail at the top of his calf, and at the back, all of this done in white is actually sculpted into the back of his boot. And here you can see some of the trouble with the white on the black, with a little bit of the white rubbed off. Now his ankle hinge wasn't painted, but it's not too bad as it's towards the back. I like how they sculpted in this plating at the back of his boot, and the white is kind of thinning at the back by his heel, but it's not too bad. Now on my figure, on the inside of his left foot, got a little bit of a sloppy paint job with the white creeping over onto the black. And then I love the layered look and all that sculpted detail going down the top of his shoe all the way to the front. Looks pretty cool. So even though this Venom didn't come with any interchangeable accessories, it's still a pretty awesome looking figure. So I wanted to give you guys a quick look at both Flash Thompson Venoms in the Marvel Legends line so far. The one on the right being the Walgreens exclusive one that came out a while back, and of course the paint applications are just so different, with the Build-A-Figure being so much cleaner than the Walgreens version. Take a look at the spider on the Walgreens Venom. It is so thin with that white, it could have used a few more coats of paint. But I am loving the size difference between the two, and the Build-A-Figure is just so hulking, so brutish. I am really loving this modern look for Space Knight Venom. So there you have it, guys, my video review of the Space Knight Venom Build-A-Figure from the Spider-Man Legends series. So excited to have this modern look to Venom to add to the collection. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a thumbs up and check out my channel for other reviews I've done. And I have so many cool things coming your way, including a lot more Marvel Legend action figure reviews. So make sure you all like, subscribe, comment, and share. You know what to do. Peace.